अस्त श्री गणनायको गजमुखो मोरेश्वर सिद्धिदः बल्लारस्तु विनायकः प्रथमः चिंतामणि से बरे लेन्याद्रवगिरिजात्मकः सुवरलो विघ्नेश्वर च पूजरे ग्रामे रंजन संसितो गणपति कुर्या सदा मंगलम कुर्या सदा मंगलम कुर्या सदा मंगलम गौरीसुताय ओम नमो गौरीसुताय ओम नमो गौरीसुताय ओम नमो गौरीसुताय ओम नमो लंबोदराय ओम नमो लंबोदराय नमो गौरीसुताय ओम नमो गौरीसुताय ओम नमो विघ्नेश्वराय ओम नमो विघ्नेश्वराय ओम नमो गौरीसुताय ओम नमो गौरीसुताय ओम नमो लंबोदराय ओम नमो लंबोदराय ओम नमो गौरीसुताय ओम नमो विघ्नेश्वराय ओम नमो विघ्नेश्वराय ओम नमो गौरीसुताय ओम नमो गौरीसुताय ओम नमो जय 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 हरि ओम जय 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 हरि ओम गौरीसुताय ओम नमो मातंगवदनानंद सदना मातंगवदनानंद सदना महादेव शिव शंभो नंदन महादेव शिव शंभो नंदन मातंगवदना आनंद सदना मातंगवदना आनंद सदना माया विनाशक मूषिक वाहन माया विनाशक मूषिक वाहन माता महेश्वरी भवानी नंदन माता महेश्वरी भवानी नंदन महागणपति मंगल चरण महागणपति मंगल चरण मातंगवदना आनंद सदना मातंगवदना आनंद सदना महादेव शिव शंभो नंदन महा नरहरि चंचल है मत मेरी, कैसे भक्ति करूं मैं तेरी। नरहरि चंचल है मत मेरी, कैसे भक्ति करूं मैं तेरी हो, कैसे भक्ति करूं मैं तेरी। नरहरि चंचल है मत मेरी। सबघत अंतर रमस निरंतर, सबघत अंतर रमस निरंतर, मैं देखना नहीं जाना। सबघत अंतर रम निरंतर, मैं देखना नहीं जाना। गुण सब तोर मोरे सब गुण, गुण सब तोर मोरे सब गुण, कृतोपकार न माना। नरहरि चंचल है मत मेरी, कैसे भक्ति करूं मैं तेरी। तेरा मेरा कुछ नहीं जग में, प्रभु करे निपुकारा, प्रभु करे निपुकारा। कह रे दास कृष्णा करुणा में, कह रे दास कृष्णा करुणा में, जय जय जगत धारा। नरहरि चंचल है मत मेरी, कैसे भक्ति करूं मैं तेरी हो, कैसे भक्ति करूं मैं तेरी। नरहरि चंचल है मत मेरी, कैसे भक्ति करूं मैं तेरी हो, कैसे भक्ति करूं मैं तेरी। प्रभु का नाम जपो मन मेरे, प्रभु का नाम जपो मन मेरे, दूर करे वही संकट तेरे, दूर करे वही संकट तेरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे। प्रभु का नाम जपो मन मेरे, जीवन रैन बसेरा है, क्या तेरा क्या मेरा है ये, पिंजरा जब मिल जाता है, पंछी कब रुख पाता है, ये पिंजरा जब मिल जाता है, पंछी कब रुख पाता है, ये ओ इसका अब सोच करे रे, दूर करे वो ही संकट तेरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे। प्रभु का नाम जपू मन मेरे, प्रभु का नाम, प्रभु का नाम, प्रभु का नाम जपू मन मेरे।
बोलो श्री गणेश भगवान की जय। All will stand as we join together and sing in the arati. Om Jai Ganapati Deva. Om Jai Ganapati Deva, Prabhu Jai Ganapati Deva, Vigana Vinashana Swami, Vigana Vinashana Swami, Sukha Sampati Deva. Om Jai Ganapati Deva, Parvati पुत्र कहावो, शंकर सुत स्वामी, प्रभु शंकर सुत स्वामी। गजानन गणनायक, गजानन गणनायक, भक्तनयनुगामी। ओम जय मूषक यशवारी, प्रभु मूषक यशवारी। कर जोरी विनती करे, कर जोरी विनती करे, आनंद युसवारी। ओम जय गणपति देवा। प्रथम आपको पूजन शुभ मंगल दाता, प्रभु शुभ मंगल दाता। सिद्धि हो ये सब कार्य, सिद्धि हो ये सब कार्य, दरिद्र हट जाता। ओम जय गणपति देवा। सुंदला दोंद दोंदला, मस्तक पर चंदा, प्रभु मस्तक पर चंदा। कारज सिद्ध करावो, कारज सिद्ध करावो, का तो सब फंदा। ओम जय गणपति देवा। गणपति जी की आरती जो कोई नर गावे, प्रभु जो कोई नर गावे। दादू का कह भावती, दादू का कह भावती, देश दिन सुख पावे। ओम जय गणपति देवा। जय गणपति देवा, प्रभु जय गणपति देवा। विघ्न विनाशन स्वामी, विघ्न विनाशन स्वामी, सुख संपत्ति देवा। ओम जय गणपति देवा। ओम जय गणपति देवा। ओम जय गणपति देवा। ओम त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देवा। ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम। बोलो श्री गणेश भगवान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय। सियापति रामचंद्र की जय। जगत जननी श्री दुर्गा माता की जय। बोलो सनातन धर्म की जय। Devotees, you may kindly take your seats. ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। Devotees, once again we all gathered here tonight to worship the Supreme Brahm in the form of Shri Ganesh. Before I commence reciting the katha, we'd ask each and everyone to try to picture that beautiful form of Lord Ganesh in your minds as we chant these verses which are dedicated to his worship. Om Asumukashtaikadantashta Kapilo Gajakarnaka Lambodarashta Bikato Bigananasho Vinayaka Dumbraketor Ganajaksho Balachandro Gajanana Dvadashaitani Namani Yapate Tranno Yadapi Vedyarambe Vivahicha Praveshe Nirgami Tata Sangrami Sankati Chaiva Viganastasya Najayate Shuklam Varadaram Devam Shashivaranam Chaturbhujam Prasanavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Abhipsitartha Siddhyartha Pujito Yasura Surai Sarva Viganarastasmai Ganadipataye Nama Shivatane Vareshtama Sarva Kalyana Murati Parashu Kamalahastam Shobhitam Modakena Arun Kosamamala Vyalaya Gyopavitam Mama Hriday Nivasam Shri Ganesham Namami Vakratunda Mahakaya Koti Surya Mama Prabha Aviganam Kurumi Deva Sarvakarishu Sarvada Viganeshwarai Varadai Surapriyaya Lambodarai Sakalai Jagaditai Nagananai Shruti Yagya Vibhushitaya Gauri Sutai Gananath Namo Namaste Bhaktarti Nashana Parayai Ganeshwaraya Saraveshwarai Shubharai Sureshwarai Vidyadarai Vikatai Chavamanaya Bhakta Prasan Varadai Namo Namaste Namaste Brahma Rupaya Vishnu Rupaya Te Namaha Namaste Rudra Rupaya Kari Rupaya Te Namaha Vishwarupa Swarupaya Namaste Brahmacharine Bhakti Priyaya Devaya Namastobhyam Vinayaka Lambodara Namastobhyam Satatam Modaka Priya Niraviganam Kurumi Deva Sarvakarishu Sarvada Avahanam na janami tavarchanam. Pujamachaiva na janami Kshamaseti Ganeshwara. Bolo Shri Ganeshandra Bhagavan ki jai. Those who were present last night would recall we stopped there because of the love and the devotion that existed in Raja Varenya. He had requested from Lord Ganesh to bless him with that vision or that third eye, that he could see what is called the universal form. In the same way as Arjun had requested of Lord Krishna in chapter 11 of the Bhagavad Gita to see that universal form. Aneka bahu daravakta netram pashami tvam sarvato vananta rupam. Nantam na madhyam na punastavadim pashami vishwesh vara vishwarupam. And Lord Ganesh gave in to that request, as Lord Krishna had given in to the request of Arjun. Before we begin tonight's katha, let us join together as we do every night in the chanting of what is called the Ganesh Stotram. Yato nanta shaktera nanta jiva yato nirgunad prameya gunasti yato bhati sarva trida veda binnam Satatam Ganesham namamo bhajama yata shvasira se jagata sarva vetus tatatam sano vishwagopta tatindra dayo daitya sannagha manusya Satatam Ganesham namamo bhajama yato vannahi bhano bhavarabho jalancha yatah sagarash Chandrama vyoma vayu yatah stavara jangama vriksha sangha Sadatam Ganesham namamo bhajama yato danava kingnarayaksha sannagra yatashtarana varana shwapadashta yatapachikita yato viragashta Sadatam Ganesham namamo bhajama yato bodhera jnanasho moksha yatai sampada bhakta santosha kasyu yato vignanasho yata karya siddhi Sadatam Ganesham namamo bhajama Yata yatra putra sampadyo vanchitarto yato bhakti vedya tatani karupa yata shoka moho yata kama eva Sadatam Ganesham namamo bhajama yato nanda shakti sasesho babhova dharadharani Nikarupo cha shakta yato nikada swarga loka hinana Sadatam Ganesham namamo bhajama yato veda jovi kunnata manovi sada nitine titi grayam granandi parabrahma rupam chedananda bhutam Sadatam Ganesham namamo bhajama yato nanda shakti rananda jiva yato nirgunad prameya gunasti yato bhakti sarva trida veda binnam Sadatam Ganesham namamo bhajama Sadatam Ganesham namamo bhajama Sadatam Ganesham namamo bhajama. Bolo Shri Ganeshandra Bhagavan ki jai. We begin tonight with Raja Varenya saying to Lord Ganesh, Ananya bhavaya sangya Murti mantamupasate Yoksharam paramam avyaktam Tato kaste matodikaha. There are many people who worship you, O Lord Ganesh. And they worship you with all different types of ingredients. Today I was watching the television, and there's a shortcut way to do it. 5 steps. Put a chandan, flowers, essence, incense, arati. That's it. Nothing shortcut don't work. Explain that to you. Tulsidas didn't write the Ramcharitmanas in Dwapar Yuga. He didn't write it in Treta Yuga. He wrote it in Kali Yuga. The Bhagavad Puran was first read in Kali Yuga. This is the age for it. So people who worship you, when we were learning Panditai, the first thing they taught us was a number. Panditji, where's the number? 16. What it had to do with Hinduism? You learn that number first and then come back. How hard it could take to learn 16? As you hear it, once you learn it, there are 16 steps that you use to worship. That have no shortcut in it. That have no compromise in it. So people who use the 16 ingredients and worship in you in what is called Murti Mantam Upasati, in the form of the Murti. There's a big difference. When you read some of the English translation of our scriptures, they use the word idol, a Ganesh idol. There's a difference between an idol and a Murti. A big difference in the two. One has no effect, the idol. The Murti has life installed in it. Pran Pratishta. So there's a difference between one. One is alive and one is dead. The idol is dead. Full stop. So those who worship you in this form and sing in praises unto you, then Yokshad Paramabhyaktam, those who choose to worship you only by your name. They have no Murti. Just the name alone. That form of worship is called Paramabhyaktam. You cannot see it. It doesn't manifest to you. I would like to know from you, which of these methods is really better than the other one? If something about the human mind. The human always believe that something is better than the other. You ever played cricket in your young days? Who is the opening bowling? A fast bowler? Why? Because the ball have a shine on it. Fella can't bowl fast, he bowled 3 balls in the over. He gapping for breath. He can't bowl, he never trained for it. It has no difference who do it. So what he is trying to signify, that which is really easier for the individual to do. Ashe tvam sarva vita sakshi bhota bhavana ishvara atastvam pariya prechami veda me kripaya vibho. O Lord Ganesh, you are the one who is worshipped as the one who knows everything. You are worshipped as what is called the Sakshi. The Sakshi means that the Lord exists in you, but he doesn't get himself involved in what you do. He only watches on. He doesn't interfere. Now, there are 2 schools of thought in that. One school of thought says God does not interfere, and one school of thought says God cannot interfere. Because if he interferes, he messes up with what is called the cycle of karma. Sanchita karma, prarabdha karma, agami karma, and collective karma. And that is not his responsibility. You know, there's a term we use, immortality. What do you think immortality means? You think immortality means you live forever? That's not possible. It goes against Prakriti, it goes against nature. There is no such thing as living forever. But yet the word immortality appears. Immortality means that you have done something in your lifetime that as long as people live, they will discuss it and remember it. That is immortality. Mahatma Gandhi. Whatever he did in his lifetime, people still talk about it. That is immortality. Not Mahatma Gandhi living forever. That's not possible. So being the Sakshi to what? Bhuta Bhavana Ishvara, the witness to your creation. You look on at it. For this reason I am asking you, Veda me kripaya vibho, have mercy upon me and explain this thing to me. See, the word that is used here is kripa. When we were growing up, there was a Pandit in Tanapuna, Pandit Satnarayan Pandey. He was a genius. Let nobody fool you. He was a genius. And he had a line he used to always say, that if there is one word that appears in the Ramayana 108 times, the word is kripa. And everybody believed that. I believe that too. Until last year. I decided to check it myself. It appears 356 times. So right now I'm preparing a Ramayana that is called Ram Kripa. Every verse will have the word Ram and every verse will have the word Kripa in it. Extracted from the Ramayana. I've also extracted from the Tulsikrit Ramayana what is called the Ram Gita, according to Tulsidas. The Ram Gita, according to Tulsidas, is not 8 chaupai. It's 400 and something chaupai. So it'll be bigger than the Bhagavad Gita. But somebody had to do it. Let's take a shot of it. He says, use that mercy and explain to me. Shri Ganesh Uvaj. Lord Ganesh says, Yo mama murti dharma bhatya madabhata padishevate so me manyo nan bhatir niyojata hridayam mai. To say that people worship me with devotion, anybody could do that. But worshiping me with true devotion, that is something different. When you worship me with true devotion, in the form of the Murti, I will reside in your heart. Take that Murti form that you see and imprint it within your mind. It is the greatest honor. Neyojya hridayam mai. It is the greatest honor you could bestow upon the Lord, to get him to reside within you, to reside within your heart. As in Bhagavad Gita chapter 12 verse 2, Lord Krishna had said, Mayaya veshamano mam netayokta upasate shradaya parayo petasate teyoktaya tamama mataha. The greatest of yogis, O Arjun, is the one who worships me in the form of the Murti, recognizing me to be the supreme, developing that love and faith. They will meditate upon me. Their whole life, their whole worship, their whole mind will be only centered upon me. Lord Ganesh says, Khaganama swavashamakretva milabhuta gitartakret deyayam sharama vyaktam sarvagam gotagam stitam. When you sit to worship, you must have your senses under control. Imagine you sit on the belly to do a puja and you have phone ringing in the fella pocket. Time to pick up your handbag and go. You're wasting time. Or somebody come to whisper in your ears, where the corridor to put in the chana. Come on. Those things are wasting time. It says, have yourself under control. Because whatever you do, kilabhuti tartakrit, is not for your benefit. It is for the benefit of humanity. All it takes is one person to do it. One person. One of the most quoted scripture. Well, I don't know if it's a scripture. Would you say Bhajagovindam is a scripture? What is it? The Bhajagovindam of Shankaracharya, would you say is a scripture? Okay, fair enough. That is the most quoted scripture that was ever written. And this man was such a genius that unfortunately, he only wrote 12 verses in it. and his 12 disciples that he had, each one wrote a verse. And up till today, they don't know which one of the chela wrote which one. Because I read one that says that Manide wrote verse 13, right? And then I read another interpretation that says, no, it's not Manide who write 13. It's Says who write 13. Manide write 15. So there's conflicting views on it. But it doesn't change what it have written there. And according to Shankaracharya, one of the most frightening things in the world, people never look at it. Punarapi maranam punarapi jananam punarapi janane jataye shegam ehi sannasare bahudushtari kripaya pahi pahi murari bhaj govindam govindam bhaja modamati. In the very first verse he wrote a word called mura, fool. Oh fool. That's how we describe human beings. They're foolish. Because they run after birth and death, birth and death, birth and death. Not seeing the real picture. You got to be a fool to do that. And he didn't mince his words. Trust me. Those who are internet smart, when you go home, punch in something called the Kanakadhara Stotra. That was written by Shankaracharya. He went in a home to beg. And the lady in the house had nothing to give him. Nothing. And Shankaracharya said, I will not leave this place until you give me something. And all she had was something a little bigger than a black till. Whatever it was, a grain. Little bigger than a black till. And in his mind he said, this has to be the embodiment of poverty. If all you could have in your house is one chana grain to eat, how you plan to eat that when you boil it, boy? Smell it for the breakfast, eat the skin for lunch, half for dinner, and the next half for breakfast the next day. And he started to sing what is called the Kanakadhara Stotra. And when he finished the Kanakadhara Stotra, rain started to fall on that property. Rain in the form of gold, the size of the grain that he got. The Kanakadhara Stotra by Shankaracharya. It's considered to be one of the most powerful astutis ever written to Mother Lakshmi. The same way, whatever you do, humanity must benefit from it. Through mining, with undivided devotion, with their minds firm, they also worship the Supreme Brahm. As Lord Krishna had said, Sanniyamyendiya gramam sarvatra samabodaya te prapnuvanti mameva sarvabhuta hite rataha. O Arjun, when you sit to pray, control your senses. Look upon all with an equal eye. Be devoted to the good. And when you are devoted to the good, you will attain me. Mahatma Gandhi took that verse and he twisted all how in his head. And he came up with a line that is still used today. Service to man is service to God. People still use it. That is where he got it from. Bhagavad Gita chapter 12 verse 4. Sopima metya niradesham matapado ya upasati sanasada sagara dasamad dwami tamaya apyaham. But those who do not have the ability to worship me through rituals, they could also worship me. Not because you don't have something. You understand? That should never be an excuse. For I am the one, Sansara Sagara Dasamad. I am the one to take you over this ocean of birth and death. I am the one. Teshamaham samudvarata mrityu sansara sagarat bhavamina chirata parta maye bhashita chetasam. Lord Krishna had said to Arjun that those who put their thoughts upon me, I will deliver them from this ocean of samsara, which is called the ocean of birth and death. It's the same thing. So whether you actually sit and do the puja, if you sit and think about doing the puja, the benefit is the same. It doesn't change. Avyakto-pasana madoka madeka matena labhyate vyaktasyo palana chadyam tadeva vyaktabhatitaha. Lord Ganesh says, when you worship me in the form of the name without having a form, we call it the invisible form. Worship in that form, in the heart of that individual, he is creating for himself many difficulties. It doesn't mean it can't work. It doesn't mean that. But why go through all the hassle? You ever cut cane? So you know hard work there. What problem you have with the harvester? That is one way to look at it, which I agree with. But the people who created the harvester never took that into consideration. And the people who used the harvester saw it as an opportunity to destroy labor. If they had used it wisely, we would have still had cane in the country. They misuse it. Now, when you worship me with true devotion, they accept me, O King, and they become devotees of mine. And gradually, they will shift from the Nirgun Braham, invisible God, to the visible form. When they realize there is no difference between visible and invisible. People think it different. Lord Krishna said, Klesho diktarasatesham vyakta sakaya chetasam avyakta hi gatiradokam dehavadbhirayavapyate. When you try to worship the invisible form, Arjun, the strain on your system is too much. The human body was not, we talk about penance, the human body was not designed to be punished. It wasn't designed for that. Penance, yes. Punishment, no. Why put yourself under all this stress to try to attach yourself to what is called avyaktam, the unmanifest? I say to you, Arjun, dehabadbhiravapyate, it is very difficult to connect the conscious with the invisible. It's very difficult to do that. Bhakti shachaiva darachatra karanam paramam sarvesham vidosheshto yakamajegyopi bhaktiman. For this reason, O Rajavarenya, people who are smart, people who are intelligent, people who are educated, people who have the little knowledge, that they worship me with great bhakti, with great devotion in the manifest form. It gives them the same benefit. It doesn't make a difference. You get the same benefit. Use what he has given to you. Use the knowledge he has given to you. Use the love and devotion he has given to you. Use it. And connect yourself with it. Maya yeva mana adasva mayi bodhim niveshayam nevaseshya simayeva ata oradvam nasanshaya. Lord Krishna said to Arjun, fix your mind upon me. Let your intellect be upon me. And then you will abide in me without a doubt. If you are praying to God and you do not have faith in God, what are you praying for? What are you praying for? Bhajana bhakta vihinoya sachandalo bidiyate chandalopi bhajana bhakta Brahmano mayiko mama. He who worships me without devotion is considered to be an outcast. If you praying to God through lip service, I'm sure you have a CD player home. I'm sure you have bhajan CD too. Nice. So if you're playing the bhajan CD and then all of a sudden it stopped playing, nothing is wrong with the CD. Something is wrong with the player. So what do you do then?
Check it out to see if
Nice. And then you realize you can't fix. So what do you do?
Get to buy a new one also.
That's right. You get rid of it. And then you replace it. You know why? Because a CD player is just lip service. It has no love in that. It have no devotion in that. No matter what it play. It's nothing. You get rid of it and replace it. This is what Ganesh is saying. When a person could worship me pretending to be a bhakta and he's not a bhakta, he's an outcast. And when the outcast worships me with devotion, the outcast is greater than anybody else. There was a great Swami in India called Ravidas. Ravidas is what in India is called a low-class man. He couldn't even walk on the street where the temple, where the mandir was. They would have licked him up. So he used to go sit down in the back of the mandir and listen to the prayers echoing through the wall. And a voice in his head told him, why don't you go in the mandir? And he started to sing a bhajan. It is one of the most beautiful bhajans ever written. And very few people know it. Prabhuji, Tumachandana Hamapani. You know that? You sure you know it? Oh. We hear it already. Yeah. That is the most beautiful bhajan ever written. And he sang that over and over and over and over until the back wall of the mandir burst open. And the murtis spin around. Ravidas. That was his name. Most beautiful bhajan ever written. Shukyada sanakadasya puramokta hi bhaktitaha bhaktaye mamanu prapta narado dyashtirayusha. Shukadeva Muni, the expounder of the Srimad Bhagavad Puran, was a guy named Shukadeva Muni. The four sons of Brahma and many other devotees, Pura Muktahiya Bhaktitaha, they have all gained liberation through bhakti, through the love of God. Great, great sages like Narad Muni, Markandeya, they have found me, O king, they have found me through devotion. Ato bhaktyapayi mano nidehi bodhime vacha bhaktayajvasya Maharajas tato maveyayasyasi. Let your mind, your thought, your senses, your intellect, when you sit to pray, let everything coordinate into one. And when you achieve that, that is called bhakti. That is called devotion. Perform bhaktya yajasva Maharajas. Perform my yajna. And when you perform my yajna, tato mameva yasyasi, you get the chance, you get the opportunity to know me, and you get the opportunity to accept me. Asamarato pitomaswanta meva mama yanaradipaha abhyasintu yogena tato gantu yatasvamam. When you associate with devotees of God, you will become one like them. When you associate with evil people, you will become one like them. And nobody could debate that. Nobody could take that chance and debate it. He says, if you pray to me and you cannot concentrate upon me, he says, then start over. Start over using a different method. Try pranayama, controlled breathing. Try bending down and touching your toes so when you sit on your back won't hurt. Try something different. That it will give you the opportunity to sit a little longer and worship a little more. Then you will get to understand, who am I? Lord Krishna had said, Atachitatam samadhatum nashaknoshe mayi stiram abhyasa yogena tatoma me chaptum dhananjaya. O conqueror of wealth, Arjun, if you cannot fix your mind upon me, then seek to worship me through the yoga of practice. That is all you do, practice. You could remember cutting the first bundle of grass with a grass knife? You could remember that? What you do? How much time you cut yourself? But you never stop. You keep cutting all the time. And eventually you will get it right. It is the same thing with the worship of God. It is the same thing with reading scriptures. I've always said that, Once I was very sick. I went cinema. You know where it's called Empire Cinema? Penitent Street. And I'm hungry to dead. So you had to look for the shortest cut to reach home. And the shortest cut from Empire Cinema to the next door here is through Paradise Cemetery. So you reach up by Convent, take a deep breath, and you head down the hill, full blast. Eat, go to sleep. We talk about wrench them out. Like nowadays, people talk about wrench them out. You eat your belly full and go and sleep. Next morning when I get up, I can't walk. Cannot walk. I went from that to that. Skin and bone. And my mother gave me a bag of Gita. She said, read this. Well, I passed all the partai. I passed all that. I just, by mistake, I just opened the book. And I opened the book to a chapter that it will take hundreds of years to learn to read, chapter 11. Then verse 4. Like snake. And I asked her a question. I said, I want to ask you something. Who write this? So when your father come home, you go ask him. And I did ask him. I said, who write this? I said, they had to put a bachak in a bottle of ink and take him out with a tweezer and drop him on a blank sheet of paper and he write this. Because nobody can read this. And he said something that was very interesting. Break it up. Just break it up. And it took me 40 years to break it up. But I break it up. Constant practice. That is how you break it up. You don't need brain to break it up. You need practice to break it up. And if you keep practicing all the time, at some point, you're going to get it right. That is what Lord Krishna had told Arjun. Abhyasa yogena tamoma mitraptum dhananjaya. Constant practice, you're going to get this right. You're going to get it right. Panditai has nothing to do, never had anything to do with which Pandit is better than another Pandit. After this building, 1, 2, 3, the third building, it's an open lot of land now. My Nana used to live there. And he strike gold, he and his brother. They struck gold, literally. Became a millionaire overnight. And he wanted to do a Bhagavad. And as fate would have it, it's something about father-in-law and son-in-law. They just don't get along. My father was a country boy. My mother was a Tonga man. The house next door was my Aja own. And my father came to clean the drain before the rainy season. He happened to see my mother, and me and I was stupidness. He go and tell his father, and his father come and they hook him up. So a man from the bush in poverty marry a woman from the city who is a millionaire. How that going to work? Right. Forget how it work, it work. And he's strange enough. My nanny told my father, I want you to read the Bhagavad. And my nana said, over his dead body that's going to happen. You married your daughter to the man and then hate the man too. That's strange kind of love, eh? So they suggested that my father find the Pandit to read the Bhagavad. And he found a fellow they called Satnarayan Pandey, who he grew up with. The first time in his life, Satnarayan Pandey sat on a singhasan to read Bhagavad was home by we. The first time Basdev Baba from Mount Lambat read a Bhagavad in his life was home by my Aja in Bodnaf. I still have the picture, I could show you it. It is the only picture ever taken out with that man without a pagri on his head. The only picture. I still have it. 1928 or 29, somewhere around there. Still have the picture. And I have a nice picture with one of my uncles standing up next to a mule. And I asked one of my uncles one day, which one of all is that in the picture? He said, I can't remember, you know. I said, the mule are talking about, you know, not you. I know which one is you. Which one all resembles that black mule? Well, they hate me for that. You understand? There is no competition in Panditai. Some people believe it have competition. It have none. It have none. It should not have none. Lord Krishna says, seek me out by constant practice. Ganesh Bhagavan says, Tatrapi tvaya shakcheta kurukarama madarapanam mamano grahayatashchaiva paranirabriti yamenyasi. If you do not have the ability to perform these, then perform some duty for my yagya. We went to Mandu yesterday with Miss Spice. You feel if I put you behind this book, you could read the yag? Not the whole thing? You can't read none of this. The point is, do something for the yag. It's just as good as doing the puja in the yag. It's just as good as reading the yag. Who you think really better, the man who reading the yag or the man who listening? What do you think? The man who listening, boy, the man who reading does make plenty mistake. The man who listening don't make no mistake unless he head screw up. So he said, do something in my yagya. And whatever you do, surrender it to me. Oh Lord Ganesh, I do this for you. Right? Everybody who come will benefit from it. Through my blessings, such an individual's Parani Briti Amenyasi will achieve the highest form of peace. Atavedapyanushtatam nashaktosi tarakuru prayanatapalayathyagam trividanam mikarmanam. If you do not have the ability to do this, then I want you to perform your karma, but perform the karma for the love of doing it. Not because you want something in return. That is not karma then. When you do something for something in return, it's a job. You're bargaining. Lord Krishna told Arjuna, Atadapya yato siya karato mamadyogama shritaha sarva karma palatyagam tatakuru yatma atmavan. If you cannot practice yoga, Arjuna, subdue the mind, subdue your intellect, and give up only one thing in this world, the fruit of the action which you perform. Do it for the love of doing it. Do it because you enjoy doing it. I went to the home of one of your mamu. They're good friends. So I said, boy, for me to come by your house, I had to hire a driver and come by you. Oh, ain't you gonna give me a number and I'll call you and then we can negotiate? He said, boy, I really don't have a phone. I said, okay. If you don't have a phone, I can't vex with you for that. And then the phone started ring. So I tell him, I say, do me a favor. He said, wait that. I said, when you go inside to bring a glass of water for me, I want you to go climb the wall and go by your neighbor's house and answer the phone. Because the neighbor phone will ringing, not yours. You are Hanan. You don't know what to tell me. You lie for something like that? How stupid that could be, boy. Why would I initiate you as my chela? And then you turn around and tell me one day, Babs, in case I need to find you, I live in real far down in Maruga in the bush, you know. So give me your phone number. So when I'm ready, I could call you and we could negotiate when I could come. and I tell you I don't have a phone, or I don't give out my number, fire me and get another pundit. Because when you need me the most, I'm not there. Surrender the fruit of the action which you perform. Again, Lord Krishna says, Shreya hi jnanam abhyasa nana dhyanam visheshate dhyanata karma pala tyagas tyaga chanti narantaram. Knowledge is greater than practice. Meditation is superior to knowledge. The renunciation of the fruit of karma is superior to meditation. And I say to you, O Arjun, if you reach that level, peace follows renunciation. Peace here means oneness with God. It's different stages. You ever climb a ladder yet? In your lifetime? You have a ladder home? Again, you get a job to do tomorrow morning.
Do a job today. I do a job today with ladder.
Oh, you do job today with ladder? Well, where do also, you have a, how long your ladder is? 20 feet. Oh, you had the real ladder. And when you run up the ladder and skip 2 treads when you're going up? What do you think going to happen? Nah, you're coming down. That's not true. The next thing you're going to be hearing is, you know what? I be akela, jai be. That's when you go here, you go be dead. Don't rush them things. Take it treader by treader, step by step. You will reach the top. One by one. Niraham matayaha buddhi dveshakaranaya sama labha labhe sukhe duke mana mane same priya. Give up this arrogance that you have. Lord Ganesh says, do not allow your senses to be caught up in the green-eyed monster, greed. Don't do that. Do not have enmity with people. Look upon all with an equal eye. Look upon profit. Look upon loss, happiness, misery, honor, dishonor. Those things are only temporary. Those things are only temporary. Look upon it with an equal eye. For these are the obstacles in life I put in place to make sure that you are strong enough to cross it. There's a beautiful katha written in one of the Shatak. This guy chopping up wood every day to do puja to Lord Shiva. And one day while he cutting up wood, he got a fantastic scent. So, human nature, he looked to see where the scent was coming from. He can't, how you go see the scent? You can't see scent, you have to smell it. So as he looked, he cut off this. He pelt away the wood. He pelt away the cutlass. He said, to hell with Lord Shiva. Praying to his wasting time. And Lord Shiva started to get worried. And Parvati asked him a question, why are you worried? He said, there's a fellow downstairs named Says, who is cut up wood every day and do my puja. And he cut off piece of his finger. And he throw away the wood and he throw away the cutlass. No, Parvati says damn right. Because if he praying to you and you can't help he, who he praying to you for? And then he explained, in the previous life, Says was a notorious criminal. And when he land here, we decide we're waiting until the time is right and we're going to take his whole hand from his shoulder, cut it off clean. But because of the amount of Hawan and thing he's doing, it started to shrink the weight of the sin or the pain. And we decide just to take a little piece of the finger instead. So when a little piece of your finger is missing, consider yourself lucky. It means you're doing something right. You know, Devanatha, the missing one, right? Nice. Yamaviksha na bhayamayati janasmananaya swayam udvegabi yakop mudabi rahito ya same priya. Those who look upon all equally will not have fear in their mind. Yes, you're supposed to have fear. When you read in the Chalisa to Lord Ganesh, there is a verse that says, Jai Ganesh Girija Suvan Mangala Mola Sujan. Kahat Ayodhya Dasatum Deva Abhaya Varadan. Ganesh is the one to give us fearlessness. But not total fearlessness. Because if you are totally fearless, arrogance is going to step in. Only I could jam that, Papa. Nobody can do that. Arrogance. So there is nothing called total fearless. There are only two totally fearless people in the world. Only two. One that lives sometimes in the madhouse, and one that lives right in the back here in the cemetery. It's either you're mad or you're dead. Nobody totally fearless. But have no fear. Why? Because put your faith and trust in me. If you trust me, you should not have fear. If you have faith in me, you should not have fear. That when you come across these people, do not entertain doubts in your mind. That is one of the first problems I had as a pundit, doubt. Because as a young pundit, you go in a place like Devi, Pinal, all in the back there, which is Bakara, my trees, Baka Rock Road. Everything there is Hindu, the grass is Hindu too, So when you land in a Ramayana satsang in that era, you know Gangadhar Pandit, right? You know Chandrika Pandit. When you land in a satsang and you're running to Chandrika Pandit and you're running to Gangadhar Pandit, you must know you're alive, because your heart will be telling you you're living, because it'll be beating through your chest. You're frightened when you see these fellas. And the way they watch you, if looks could have killed, you're dead right there behind the Ramayana. They're rough. But they mean nothing. They mean nothing. They just want to make sure you get it right. And they will sit down with you. How I sit down here, you sit down there. And every verse I read that make a mistake, you stop me. Hey, read it over. Hey, read it over. They wasn't abusive. You understand? But they correct you, hoping that you get it right. You don't get it right the first time. Trust me, I could tell you that. You don't. I say some mantra when I now started Pandita. I don't even think God knows how to translate the mantra I say. Anything fly in my mouth, I say it, If it's Agalam, it must have a Bagalam. You understand? That we started to make joke about it. Agalam, Bagalam, Swaha, Nagatama Shilling, you put a Madala, Blam, Swaha again, and you're going. You learn through trial and error. You learn through trial and error. And when you learn what it took me 40 years to do with the Bhagavad Gita, I could teach it to you in 1 hour. In 1 hour, guarantee you. But it took me 40 years to reach there. And this is why Ganesh is saying that when you meet people who are more knowledgeable upon you, do not have doubt. Do not have anxiety. Do not raise your temper regardless of what they say to you. They don't mean that. They mean to make you strong. Free yourself from that temper. Free yourself from that anger. And then you will become one of the loved ones. I'll give you a little story that you mightn't believe. In Gasparillo, there's a store they used to call Bata, that used to sell shoes and things. You know Bata? And from by Bata store to Karatal is climbing hill all the way up. All the way up to the top. And I used to walk up there to meet an old man named Puran. One of the few knowledgeable men in Rama. I tell you knowledgeable. What he have in the brain, men have sitting writing and they can't read it. Genius of a man. I said, I need you to teach me Rama. He said, but your father is a pundit. He said, my father sent me by you. Are you serious? I come back tomorrow. That's right, He closed the gate and go on his side. You have to walk all the way back, When you go tomorrow, he tell the boy, me feeling good, come back tomorrow. And he doing that for about 2-3 months. Serious. And one day I'm walking up the hill, I say, it's either me and he today. Either he finish me or I finish he today. And when I reach, at the opening gate, he say, you reach, I'm ready for you, come let me go. And we start. And I told him that after. I say, had you not start with me today, I would have licked you up, Yeah. You know what he say? If you think I'm going to waste my time, to teach a donkey who want to come here one time and learn the whole Ramayana. I don't have time for that. You have to show me that you really need it. He is one of only two men I promised. When they die, I will do his funeral. And he said, bury him when he died. Don't cremate him. And he explained why. I didn't agree with him. He was right, but I did not agree with him, but I bury him. That's the only man I ever bury. It can have a second one. So when you want to find knowledge, you have to seek out knowledge. You have to look for it. If you believe I could pump an organ in all the different raga they have that make me a good pandit, something wrong with you. Something wrong with you. That is not what a good pandit is. He says, Ripamitro tagaratyaham stutato shoka mama suhat mauni nishchaladi bhaktir sanga satchayame priyaha. In life you will go through meeting enemies. You will meet friends. You will face criticism. You will have worries. He says, but at the end of it, keep your mind stable. Keep your intellect stable. Chant that name through bhakti, through devotion. And those who do not associate with wicked people will always be my devotees. Keep away from bad company. Bad company has never achieved anything good. Samashila yatashtena samudesham maya kritam navandya sarvalokeshu moktatma me priya sada. Those who accept my teachings and those who act upon my teachings, they have earned the right to liberate themselves from the bondage of this world. It's not just reading the scriptures. It's not just that. It is whatever you read in the scripture, you have to practice it. Right? Let me tell you something. I went to my guru one day. I told you I had two gurus, right? I never tell you that. I had a guru in North and a guru in South. The guru in North was a fellow who came from India. But he disowned me when I was 12 years old. Up to now, I don't know why I do he. But he disowned me when I was 12 years. And then I got initiated with a Pandit in Debi, whose father came from India, and who got married to my Aji sister. So he's my father's first cousin. And that is the man I respect as a guru. Full blast. When I went to his funeral, he had about 40,000 people in his yard. Couldn't get in. And I told one of his sons, Krishan, that body not moving until I reach there. And he cleared the road, because he knew the love his father had for me. I had a death in the family, and I took my son with me. And we passed in. And Krishan was there holidaying. And when he saw my son, he says, this is the next generation Pandit. This is the next generation of genius. We need that. We have that connection, real connected. And I asked him one day, I said, I want to ask you a question. He said, sure. I said, how much puja could I do successfully in a day? He says, to do what? To be a Pandit or to be a good Pandit? I said, to be a good Pandit. He said, one. And I stick to that till today. I stick to that. I remember a lady told me in a puja one day, but Baba, you don't drive a car? I said, no. But what kind of Pandit you is? I said, when you're dead, lady, if I do in your funeral, I'll bring a muffler and put it on the creek for you. And I won't tell you anything else. That's what you create a good Pandit to be. A man who drive a Prado, a man who drive a Porsche, that make him a good Pandit. Okay. If that's good enough for you, good enough for me. Never change. When you are angry, you lose everything. So give up anger. When you give up anger, prapto na chayatushyati, then your wishes, your needs are going to be fulfilled. Anger prevents your needs from being fulfilled. Kshetra yagyo na yapveti. Through the blessings of your Ishtadeo. Everybody have an Ishtadeo. An Ishtadeo is determined according to the planet you are born in. That is your Ishtadeo. He says, give up the love that you have for this body. This body is not going to last. It's not going to last. And the one who surrenders his body to me is one who is very loved by me. Raja Varenya says, Kemakshetram yatashtadati kemata jagyanam gajanana etadakshava prechate karunambuding. O Lord Ganesh, this body that we have, what it is? What is this body? Who knows it? What is the knowledge of this human body? O ocean of mercy, explain these things to me. Lord Ganesh responds immediately. Panchabhutani tanamatra panchakaramendriyani cha ahamakado manobodhi panchagyanendriyani cha. The elements, the sense organs, greed, the mind, the senses, the 5 sense organs. Echa vyaktam diti dvesha sukhadoke tataiva cha chetana sahita shachayam samoha kshetra mochati. That which is called desire, temper, patience, enmity, happiness. This is what makes up the body. Everybody have ignorance in them. I looking for a doctor since the day I born and I can't find him. I believe that. Serious. The fellow who hold me upside down and slap me, I looking for he. I don't think he did justice to me. See, if I catch him now, we'll show him how man does it. Stupidity. Stupidity. Give up all those things and then you will understand how this works, how this functions. It is the greatest machinery that was ever created, the human body. There is a possibility in your lifetime, says, you could suffer 6, 7 heart attacks and don't even know. You will never know. The body has a way to regenerate itself. It's only when you push it beyond the limit, then you just know. Then you will know how much damage you do to it. It could generate, it could heal itself. No machine could do that. The condenser in my unit blow, the air conditioner shut down. Why didn't it fix itself? Can't fix itself. Machines cannot do that. The human body could do that. Tajagyam tvam videma mup Saravantarayamanim vibam ayam samoho hamachapi yajagyan vishayo nishaha. Those who know this and those who accept that I am the one who exists everywhere, know me, O King. You are the body and I am the soul. Know that. I am the one who is very concerned about life, human life. Because I gave that to the world. And when I look around in the world today and see what they're doing with it, I'm scared. That little child with drunk baby in the park, that's something to be scared of, boy. That has nothing to do with race and religion, you know. It's frightening. Where a child could fall down in a pot of boiling water with peas and dead. That's frightening. Are we so irresponsible? You could go through the agony and the pain. I'll tell a little story about pain. I had a kidney stone that shattered. And, well, you pass it out. And piece hook up.
I know about that, man.
Eh?
I know about that.
Oh, you know about that? You should have known me when I had it. I could have chew up iron and spit it out like wire. Pain, bawling. I jump in a taxi. Tell my wife, let me go. I can't go alone. And that was my bad lucky day. The taxi driver, instead of carrying me to the nursing home, he had to go Park Street to drop somebody. Then he had to come back on the top of 3rd Street and drop somebody. Then he had to go up on the coffee and drop somebody. And then he go carry me down there. I could have killed he that day, boy. When I reached in the doctor's office, he hit me a needle. He said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You still have pain? Yeah, hold on. Next one, boom. 1, 2, 3, I say, pain gone. And my wife asked the doctor, is that pain really so bad? You know the question he asked she? Have you ever made a baby? She said, yes. He said, you ain't have a clue what pain is. Making a baby ain't have no pain like a kidney stone pain, Papa. You get a kidney stone pain, you know mantras that even the rishis don't know. It's a frightening kind of pain. But know me. How do you get to know me now? That's the next question. You tell me to know you. How am I going to know you? And this is what Lord Ganesh says. Arjavam Gorosho Shrova Vedaktashtendrayaryata Shauchanam Ksha Taranabhaksha Janamadi Dosha Vikshanam. Live a simple life. Live a very simple life. Up to 3 years ago, I owned 1 pair of slippers. You believe that says? 1 pair of slippers. I never owned a shoes. But when I stopped playing cricket, I don't need shoes. I buy one to exercise now. Until I have a chela every Father's Day, they bring a pair of slippers for me. So now I have 3, 4. I live very simple. I eat very simple food. Things that you will eat in puja, I won't eat it. Very simple. Boil aloo, mash it up, put some salt, give me a sara roti, I in paradise. Serious. And the next thing, guru. Treat your guru good. It is one of the things that Goswami Tulsidas emphasized on, the guru. The first chaupai written in the Ramayana. Where's the first chaupai? Bandavu guru pada padoma paraga suruchi subhas sarasyanuraga. I must love my guru. Okay, well, nobody tell me. My guru do no wrong in my book. Nothing. Nobody could tell me that. The first person who tried to tell me my guru do something wrong, I just coughed them in the mouth. Seriously coughed them down. My guru do no wrong. I don't care what you say. That is the man I respect. Now, in the very Ramayana, Tulsidas wrote a verse. Santakahiya saniti prabhu Shruti Purana Munigao Hoina Vimala Viveka Ura Guru Sanaki Yedurao. The saints and the sages have made a law which the scriptures agree with, that pure knowledge will never enter into a man's head if he is dishonest to his guru. I live by that. When I go by my guru, if he asks me what money you have in your pocket, if I have none, I will tell him none. And if I have 20, I say I have a 20. He said, all right, let me go down the road. Right? You know, as you pass Suchi Trace going to Pinal, there was a sadhu fellow used to wear kanti, who used to sell doubles and things in a big box. Yeah. We used to go by he. Are your family? Are you father?
All of them lady family.
Okay, let me leave it there. Right. We used to go by he. So my bad habit in eating doubles is from a sadhu. And we used to lick him up. When I come back home by him, he'll give me back my 20, you know. So if you're giving me back my 20, why you make me spend it? It's not making sense. Now I know it made sense. He wanted to see how far I would go. If I spend my 20, I had to walk back from Buru Trace to San Fernando, you know. That is not a nice walk in them days. He'll give you back it. So if you're willing to go all, he is willing to go all with you. That is what you have to understand. So when you serve the guru, you control your senses. Purity. Bear everything that come your way. Honor, dishonor. Discard ignorance. Look at birth and death equal. Today you're born, you're happy, you're living a life. Tomorrow you're going to dead. Hey, and if you're lucky, the day after you're going to be born again. It's a constant cycle. Samadeshta drida bhakti rekanti tvam shamodama eteryatyatatamagnanam tajagyanam vidhibahoja. Look upon everything equally. Equal vision. Remain firm in your devotion. Remain by yourself. Live in peace. This knowledge that prevails within these is said to be true knowledge when you understand what life is about. Tajagyanam visharajan bravime tvashanashvami yajagyadveti nirvanam moktva sansriti sagaram. I am speaking to you now, O King, about knowledge. When you understand what knowledge is, you will free yourself from the obstacles that come your way, and you would liberate yourself. Beshwabrecha khila vyapi tvakajane vabhasate bahya byantarata puranam sangam tamasaya param. He who accepts this universe, that he who is present here, there, everywhere, there is a force that is present here, there, and everywhere. That force has no name. That force has no form. And yet, he has many names and many forms. He gets a name, because, not because God gave him a name. He has no birth paper. God have no birth paper. Don't nobody fool you. Somebody made a murti of Ganesh from his head, right? He said, shucks, he's an elephant. So I'm going to call he big ass. He correct. Next fellow make one with a big belly. There I'm going to call he big belly. All correct. Who give him the name big ass? Who give him the name big belly? Ain't that devotee of God? That is where God gets his name from. From devotees. They mold him how they want him. That is bhakti. That is jnana. That is knowledge. Because when you mold it into that shape, you can't change your mind and say, nah. Because the way it looks perfect for you. And that perfection that you have created is what causes millions of people to rush after, to follow. I spoke about the greatest phenomena of the 20th century, the Ganesh Murti drinking milk. What is the greatest phenomena of the 21st century? You have any idea? 2 days ago it happened. I'll show you the picture when we go downstairs. A cloud appeared in the sky in India in the full form of Ganesh. A cloud. Now, no magician can go up there with a paintbrush using your ladder and paint that. After a while, the breeze just blow it away. Perfect Ganesh form, if you see it. That is the phenomenon of the 21st century. Look when it happened. When the Ganesh Yagya is going on. You want more proof than that? Yeah. He says, I am filled with everything. I am inside of this universe. I am outside of the universe. I am without a second. There is nobody to compare me with. The one who knows this frees himself from tamasa. Tamasa means darkness, ignorance. Yadanindriyairahinam gunabriga gunayavarjitam avyaktamasada sadadanti mindayartaya bhasakam. That which is ancient, without senses, who is the three gunas and without gunas, neither true nor false, who causes the senses to become illuminated. Durageyam chadi sukshmatva deeptanapi abhasakam geyame dashavidi jnanagamyam puratanam. It is very complicated to understand that. But treat it simply. Treat it simple. all this fuss we making about God? Who made God simple? You have any idea? A woman in the forest named Shibari. She made Ram very simple. She sweeping the road, light a diya, pick a dongs, eat it, it's sour, pitch it away. The day Ram show up, she did the identical thing. Sweep the road, light a diya, taste the dongs, this one sweet. Hey Ram, this one is for you. You understand? Make God simple. God is not a complicated thing. We make it complicated because of our ignorance. Know me as the Ancient One, for I am the one who is fit to be known. Eta deva parama brahma geyamatma parobhyaya gunan prakriti janayaha bonga purusha prite praraha. Know me as the Supreme Brahman. Know me to be the divine Atma. Know the external ones. We are the external ones. And the further we move from the celestial planes, is the further we move from God. We need to reconnect now. Connect back to me. And when you connect to me, you will realize that everything in this universe was created not by me, by nature. I am the Lord of nature. When you know this, you enjoy all good things. Gunastri bheraya yanadege badanante purusham drivam yada prakashaksanateksha brite satve tadadikam. Created by nature, life is divided into different species. Everything is different. And the human, who is supposed to be the smartest of them all, never understood that every life is connected. They never understood that. We still don't understand it. This is why we kill out half of the world already. This is why so many civilizations have been wiped off from the map. All the ancient civilizations gone. The only one that stood the test of time is Hinduism. And we still stand in the test of time. We are the last of the great civilizations. Let nobody fool you and tell you otherwise. Where the Inca civilization? It gone. Where the Aztec? It gone. Where the Hanging Gardens of Babylon? It gone. That is only storybook story. Sanatan Dharma has stood the test of time. It has stood the test of invasion. And there is a concept in Sanatan Dharma that the people who invaded Sanatan Dharma never understood that concept. The concept is, whatever they bring to India, let them bring it. No fear. What is good, we will incorporate it. What is not good, we reject it. Simple. How you go beat me? I believe what you say. I was watching a little comedy with a white man on a horse riding through a village in India. So you see a white man leaning up on a hoe. And he tell the Indian, you see the Indian lean up on a hoe. And he tell the Indian, oh, so you are in my land. So the Indian look around. He said, what? He said, this is my land. So I said, since when? Last night when I went to sleep, this land was mine. I didn't know when I wake up this morning, the land gone to you. Well, if the land is yours, take it. He didn't expect that answer. That is what makes us unique. It's yours? Sure, have it. When you get fed up with it, what are you going to do? You got to leave it. So said, so done. It took 500 years, but it happened. Recognize it. We are all connected. Then you will understand what is peace. Then you will understand what is illumination. And you only get that sattve tadadikam when you understand what is sattvic guna. Then you understand good. Lobo shama spriharamba karamanam rajaso guna moho pratiyata jnanam pramadasya tamo ganaha. When there is greed, when there is desire, know it to be rajasic. When there is ignorance, know it to be tamasic. No matter what you say, they will never learn. Walk away. Sattvadik sukhamagyanam karamasangam rajodikaha tapodikashcha labate nedralasyam suketarat. When sattvic is the predominant force, knowledge and happiness will be there. When Rajasic is the predominant, you get the fruits of karma. And when Tamasic prevails, what happened in the water park? What happened with the child falling in the pot? What happened with a man with a gun in a rima who shoot up 4 teenagers in their sleep? That is when Tamasic prevails. That is what you have to expect. Lord Krishna had said to Arjuna, Karamana sukritasyahu satvikam niramal palam rajasastu palamadokam jnana tamayasa palam. Joy, wisdom, happiness is the reward of sattvic. Sorrow is the fruit of rajasic, and ignorance is the fruit of tamasic. Eshu trishu pravideshu mukti sansriti duragati prayanti manasa rajan tasamat sattva yujo bhavaha. When the 3 gunas prevail, it is difficult, O king, to get salvation. Rise above them. Discard it. Forget it. You ever hawk a dry coconut with your teeth? Hold it and rip it open. I didn't do that when I was young. If I bite a block of ice, no one spit out all my teeth. Them days gone. You cannot do it again. The same way, you had enough to eat, you had enough to drink, you had enough merriment. Give up all now. Find me. The opportunity is still there. Tatashta sarva bhavena bhajatvam mam nareshwara bhakta chabya vicharinya sarvatrasaya sanstitam. Use all the different methods of worship and you will find a devotion that attracts you. This is why Ram had explained to Shabari, people talk about devotion. It have 9 different kinds of devotion. It is difficult for a human being to polish one. You, O Shabari, have all 9. Pick one of the 9. You pick it and live by it. And then you have no problem. Aganao suriyatata somi yachatara susanstiram Vedushi brahmane tejo viditan mamakam nripaha. Scholars, the sun, the moon, fire, educated people, know these to be my glory. I cherish people who accomplish things. We could all accomplish something in life. It's just laziness, we are doing nothing. Because we live in a society where they're minding me whether they want me to mind, they're minding me for nothing. They gain me free food in the grocery too. Do you have to work? They give me money to renovate the mandir too. They give me $15,000, $25,000 when they kill the cow in the carcass. My mandir is one of the first recipients of that $25,000. That check never cash. I laminate it and put it down. That's blood money. I don't want it. You take it, me have vex with you. Me have vex with you, that's your choice. So if you have a choice to take it, why can't I have a choice not to take it? This is what Ganesh is saying. When you want to meet with me, look at the glow that comes from fire. Look at the brilliance of the sun. Look at the beauty of the full moon. Look at the miraculous stars in the sky. Look at what scholars have achieved. Look at what pundits have done. There was a pundit in India called Pandit Jwala Prasad. Look what he did with the Ramayana. He had to be Tulsidas. He couldn't be, I don't know how he ended up with the name JP. That's not a nice initial to have. All in the thick, the little thing on his side. Jwala Prasad, that was his name. Scholar. When you see that, know it to be me. They get that from me. Ahameva kilamaveshvam srijami visrijami cha aushadi tejasa sarava veshvam chapyayayam yaham. This universe is created by me, O king. In time to come, I will bring about the dissolution. Through my greatness, I have created herbs and medicinal plants. You ever see a dog sick? What does it do?
Grass.
Dog is supposed to eat grass. Why does go in the back and eat grass? He know which one is the one he could eat. And he don't eat all the grass. He pick the one, he know which one it is. And you smarter than a dog, right? Wow. Yeah, you smarter than he. I am the one to unite all life forms in this world. It is one of the greatest celebrations in the world. This Ganesh Yagya. This brings people from all walks of life. It brings people from all different backgrounds. Something about this. When the Ganesh Murti started to drink milk, it started in the Middle East, a place that had no Hindu. There it started. And it spread worldwide. Today it's the same thing. It is worldwide. When I used to do Ganesh Yag in the early days, Woodland, Tulsa trace, Suchit trace, Jokan trace, Ramai trace, and Avocat. Those were the 6 places that Ganesh Yag. It never had a 7th place. Now every street have a Ganesh Yag going on. Every corner have it. Everybody buying a murti to outdo the next people murti. The bigger the murti, the more knowledge you're going to get. Yeah, believe that. Rain and fall for the past 3 months. Which river you're going to put a murti in, says? It ain't have water in it to drown a cockroach. And you put it, where you put in the murti there? You understand what I'm saying? We took it overboard. We have turned it into a carnival now. But you know what? Some good will come out of it somewhere along the road. Saravendriyanya deshtaya jataram chadanam jayam bhanajammi chakala bhogan punya papa vibarjitaha. In the senses, I remain stationary. This life force, O Dhananjaya, it is called Dhananjaya. Conquer this wealth. This wealth is the body that you have. The wealth is not what you have in the bank. The bank could just make, let me tell you something, the bank could just make a computer error and you have nothing in the bank, you know. It ain't have a form you sign to open the account. All that disappear. So then what wealth you have? This is the wealth. This is the treasure house. This is the mandir. You know there's a bhajan to sing about it, right? Mandir murat teri phir bina dekhe surat teri. Hemant Kumar boy. Man mandir mein jyoti jagao. That is where you light the diya in your mind, in your heart. Let that diya burn. That fire ain't gonna burn you, trust me. Light that diya in you. And then you become Dhananjaya. Then you become the form of fire. Then you become free from sin. Then you become the enjoyer of everything. Once you light that lamp. In chapter 9 of the Gita, Aham saravaya jnanam bhoktacha prabhurevacha natumama bijananti tatvinashtantavantite. I am the one who enjoys the fruit of all self-sacrifice. Those who do not know, accept and realize this, Arjuna, continuously falls into that hole that is called birth and death. You understand? You love Hanuman so much. I just drawing a reference. You love Hanuman so much. So you go in the mandir and you put a flowers by the Hanuman Murti and you do arti and you put an incense and you put your whole salary and you put a penny, forget the money. You put a flower by none of the other Murti. You really feel Hanuman owe you something? Hanuman had to be stupid to take that from you. You understand? That's how ignorant human beings are. They believe that they're right and everybody else wrong. No, Sanatan Dharam say, Tattvamasi. Whatever you think God is, that is what God is. We mold him how we want him. My God never came down here with a guitar in his hand, you know. All of them fellas come with gun boy. There was a reason for that. Ahama Vishnoshcha Rudrashcha Brahma Gauri Ganeshwara Indrajalo Kapalascha Mame Vasha Samudbhava. It's the most beautiful verse written in the Ganesh Gita. In Kali Yuga, we worship 5 devatas. That is the 5. Aham Vishnu, I am Vishnu. Rudrashcha, I am Rudra. Gauri, Durga. Ganeshwara, I am that. And then Surya, I am that. That is the Panchadev that we worship. Whichever one you worship, you connect to all 5. Automatic. Automatic connection. Yena yena hi rupena janoma pariyopasate tatha tatha darshayami tasmai rupam subhaktita. Whichever form the human being chooses to worship, it all comes to me. Whichever form you worship, you're worshiping me. And through that devotion, tasmai rupam mubhaktitaha, that is the form I will show to them. If that is what they want to see, I'll show them that. Take the good example of Arjuna in chapter 11 of the Gita. Take the example of Raja Varenya, chapter 8 of the Ganesh Gita. That is what they wanted to see. That is what he showed them. So whatever form you worship truthfully, that is the form you are going to see. Lord Krishna said in chapter 4, Ye yata mam prapadyante tastateva bhajamyaham mama vartumanu vartante manushya parta sarvashaha. However you choose to worship me, Arjun, that is how I am going to respond to you. Whichever form. That is my part. I will follow you what you want. Iti kshetram tata gyata jnanageyam sameditam akilam abhopate yamya supapananaya prechate. The body, the soul, knowledge, matter. I have narrated that to you, O King. Akilam abhopasamya Gopapananaya Prichati. I have answered every question you have asked me. Tell me now, what else you want? Tell me. And I will give it to you. That is when you connect with him. Even the impossible, he will give it to you. Even the impossible. We will stop there for tonight, devotees. Bolo Shri Ganesh and Bhagavan ki jai. Tonight we have a few pundits with us. Pandit Devdat from Cedar Hill, his son. Pandit Devdat and I go a long way back. Through my father and his father. And before that, the Guru. The Guru was a Pandit named Pandit Sarabjit from Cedar Hill. Brilliant man. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. That is the only person I see my father cry for when he died. How old he was when he died? 5, you maybe didn't have a clue when he did. When he died, you know where we cremated him? Out in the sea, you know. You know the old spot? Not there, you know. You walk out in the sea, it had a rock out there. There we, that rock still there. That is where we cremated him. My father cried like a baby when his guru died. When his mother died, he didn't cry. I was there when his mother died, he didn't cry. I was there when his father died, he didn't cry. I was there with him when some of his brothers died. He said, thank God. Never show emotion. But when his guru died, it shook him. It shook him, and I'll tell you why it shook him. My father left his parents home when he was 10 years old. He walked away from them. And that is no cock and bull story. That is serious. I'll tell you why it happened. They had a dog named Fluffy. I talk about 1928, 29. The dog had pups. About 17 of them. That's what we were told. And the dog wasn't eating. So the dog not eating. Can't feed the young one. So my Aja, somebody tell me Aja how to feed the dog. And my Aja give my father a little change and tell him go in the shop. And give the shopkeeper this. He gonna know what to do. So when my father went in the shop, he was 10 years old. The shopkeeper started to laugh at him. My father name is not Basdev, you know. Unfortunately. That's not his name, you know. I don't think anybody in this audience know my father's name. My father's name was Darrin. He got the name Basdeo because the day he was born had a cyclist named Basdeo who ride around the whole of Trinidad. So my Aja gave him the nickname Basdeo. His real name was Darrin. So the shopkeeper asked him, Bas. Now let me say Basdeo. When you say Bas, you're talking about the idiot in the Philippines. Basdeo. What you come here for? He said, well, they sent me to pick up something by you. He said, but you don't eat meat and things. He said, no. She said, why are you buying this? Fishing at him. They call it sardine? Sardine. So he said, where is that? He said, I fish. I meat. My father left that right there on the counter. And if you know the village called Bodnaf, the shop is right on the junction by the scale. And he walked through that estate road, the gravel road, and came out Cedar Hill by the bridge. And he make a left. And he went by the guru. And tell the guru what happened. The guru said, okay, stay here. And the guru went and meet me, Aja. He said, your son move out, he living by me. The Aja said, okay. And in 2 years' time, he was 12 years old, he read his first Bhagavad. The descendants of those people in Masahut Junction, still alive and still testify to it. On that Singhasan had Janki Prasad Sharma, Pandit Sarabjit Prasad, Pandit Muklal, and Pandit Rambachan, Soro's grandfather. And he shake them down as a 12-year-old. He lived his whole life on the principles of his guru. And I can tell you what you don't know. The Chabal Singh Bhagavad that my father had, which is now mine, came from his guru. His guru gave it to him. The best publication of the Srimad Bhagavad Puran is what is called Chabal Singh. It has his name written on it. One day I'll open it up and show you it. Sarabjit. That's all it had. It didn't have Pandit. It didn't have anything. It just had Sarabjit written on it. So his guru had to love him, to give him a Bhagavad. He got that when he was 14 years old. And he cherished it up till today. He never lent it to anybody. He never passed it on to anybody. He came from a Bhagavad one day and they treated him like a dog in it. And he put the Bhagavad on the table. He said, Vic, this is yours, take it. Don't let what happened to me today ever happen to you. He has never said what happened. I know who the people are and I will not confront them. Because if I confront them, my father had a famous line, my son is not me. He will take it, I will retaliate. So we are very close, Devrat and I. Very, very close. So I'll ask him to say a prayer. And then I will hand over to the senior Pandit. Pandit Manidev Prasad, who's an executive member of Swaha, who's also the managing director of IETV and IE Radio. And we have had a good relationship. We have a good relationship going. He just tests me sometimes, but we're good. We don't have no problem. Today I will ask you to say a prayer and then we will hand over to Manidev.
So we'll join in prayer, but I would like to second what Panditji just said. Everything he said is 100% true and correct. His father was, from a little boy, top-ranking Bhagavati Pandit in this country. Not here in this country, anywhere, all in India he used to go. And you know what is a Bhagavati Pandit? The Pandit who can read Bhagavad. Not Hanuman Chalisa and Satyanarayana Katha, but the Srimad Bhagavad Puran. And till today, we don't have a Pandit who could touch him with the longest chandi you could find. So that was no old talk. That was serious talk. And in those days, nowadays 7 to 9 we finish. In those days, satsang went on till 2, 3 in the morning. And they didn't go to sleep. They get ready and they go see about the cattle, go to work, who have to go to work, go puja, who have to go to do puja, and so on. So I was part, as a little boy in those days, I used to sleep over in the satsang sometime. And 2, 3 o'clock they wake me up and say we're going home. And we go home, we bathe, we get dressed and go puja next morning. So this is how it used to be in those days. You all fortunate, 9 o'clock, yag finish and we're going home in a while. In those days we now start. So without wasting time, let us focus our mind on Ganesh Bhagwan as we join in prayer. Om Kharavam Stulatanum Gajendra Vadanam Lambodara Sundaram Prasyandan Madaganda Lubda Madhupaya Lola Gandastalam Dantaghata Vidaritari Durdrai Sindura Shobhakaram Vande Shaila Suta Sutam Ganapatim Siddha Paradam Kamadam Bolo Sri Ganesh Bhagwan Ki Jai.
Panditji, I don't want you to come. I know you're in trouble there. So, if you could get a mic to reach him there.
Boli Shri Gajanan Swami Ki Jai. Pandit Vickramaditya Maharaj, other esteemed Pandits, devotees. Every time I listen to Pandit Vikram, you always learn something new. And tonight I learned quite a bit, not just scripturally, but about your father. I remember when we spoke, you had said the Yag celebrates 100 years of his birth anniversary. Brahmins have come to this country. There have been those who have said, even some so-called scholars have said, no, Brahmins came. But people say many things. But I think from my interaction with you, Panditji, and from what I learned, what I have seen, I think from my lineage to yours, we want to pay special respects. Lineage. You always correct me on that. And I am very happy that we've been able to connect as we have. I may have some particular skills, you have particular skills. And what we've been able to do, I think, especially through the productions we have done, is to really ensure that your knowledge, your expertise is recorded in some form that long after both you and I and all of us are gone, it will still be available to people. And I believe a lot more needs to be done, a lot more can be done, and we will continue those projects. To all of you involved in Ganesh worship, I pray that Bhagwan's blessings be with you. Permit me, Pandit, I'll just offer a prayer, and then as I conclude, I want to again, if you permit me to say, commend you very highly on the work that is being done and the efforts that you have made. I think without doubt of many, no, I won't say I have exposure to very many Pandits. I have some exposure. But I think what I recognize in you tremendously is a great sense of scholarship and study. And that to me is what a real Pandit is. And I salute that. I wish to offer a prayer to Ganeshji. In your own words, you pray, seek his blessings as you have been doing nightly. Om Anyata Sharanam Nasti Tvameva Sharanam Mama Tasmat Karunya Bhavena Raksha Raksha Vinayaka Raksha Raksha Vinayaka Raksha Raksha Vinayaka. I pray the blessings of Sri Ganeshji be with us all. Boli Sri Gajanan Swami Ki Jai.
Panditji, thank you very much. You know, when we both get, I don't want to say older, but when we get real old and we're on the way out, one day we will look back at life. And I ask plenty of old people the same questions. What have you accomplished in a lifetime that you will consider to be the greatest achievement you have done? I have had that already, Pandit. In all honesty. Ralph was there with me. My greatest achievement, there was a yagya taking place in that temple there, Wilton Hindu Temple in Connecticut. And they invited a Pandit from India to come. I don't know how flight arrangements were made from India, but he was supposed to land in Orlando. And from Orlando, he would fly up to New York. And from New York, he would be driven to Connecticut. At the same one day before he left India, there was a mass killing in a club in Orlando, where a fellow went in with a machine gun and he cleaned it up. And the pundit from India say, Orlando dangerous. I not coming there. And he canceled the yag. So they had a meeting in the temple in Connecticut, looking for a pundit to do the yag. And Swami Balgopal was expecting his god brother to come. That's the guy in the picture, Swami Tahal. He was coming up, but they wanted somebody else to fill the gap. And they couldn't find a third pundit, a second pundit. So he asked me if I will do it. I said, trust me, I can handle myself. You say, but you are talking to an audience who knows no English. You said, that's not your problem, that's my problem. Sell it to them. And everybody refused. One, I was not an Indian. Two, I had a smoke. Three, he looks ignorant. But the comments were, and I sit down rightly listening to them, you know. So I said, these fellas talking in Hindi and I smoking. I said, Swamiji, could I say something? He said, yes. I said, इस शव में एक मंदिर में अगरबत्ती लगता है. Shut them up. This is a mandir. Mandir need incense. My cigarette is incense. Stop quiet. So they agreed. You won't believe that, but they agreed. And when I hit the Singhasan the first night, Ralph was there. Had about 600 people who couldn't sit down, stand up. One fellow stand up and they have a bell hanging from the ceiling. And he wrap his hand around the chain and hold on. People like Bachak. And the Swami introduced me as a Western Pundit from Trinidad. And I start. At the end of the first night, when I went home and come back, for the second night, the Swami laughing, he said, Wham. He said, the people in the mandir say, fire the Swami and you finish the whole yag. They didn't want to hear their own people. I was able to read the Ramayana in Awadhi, explain it in Awadhi, and then explain it in Hindi. And people in the audience were taking notes. Once I catch you taking notes, I catch you, you know. And then I offload. And for that, that is my greatest achievement in my lifetime. My father achieved his greatest achievement in his lifetime when he was featured in the Times magazine of India, standing between Fidel Castro and Indira Gandhi. That was his crowning glory. I cherish that moment. That somebody who has left India so long could still command an Indian audience. Devotees, nobody could tell you to love God. You have to love that on your own. But trust me, if you do, you could do plenty more than I did. Swami Balgopal once described me in a yagya as the modern day Tulsidas. He has never seen a man write katha in Sanskrit and could explain it. He had never seen it. The Pandit who came from Suriname. What is his name? Nitin. He saw some of my handwritten works and he was amazed. So he has never seen that in his lifetime. Say, Panditji, could I get a copy? I say, a copy of my Ganesh Gita. How much time do I have to think about it? He said, as long as you want. I said, okay. When I spoke to the Paramacharya about the Ganesh Gita, he said to me, whoa. You really do that? I mean, I just call him by his name. It doesn't mean I don't respect him. And I just call him by his name because I'm elder than him in service 1 month. I was the second to me. As a Pandit, he was the 4th of June. So I'm older and I'm senior than him. I say, Harry, if I tell you something, you better believe it. One of my joys came the day when you were submerged in the Murti. And you will never know what it was. Go and look at the tape, and I'll give you 100 guesses and you won't guess right. When I saw Pandit Haridev sat down there doing the closing prayer, and for some strange reason, I called my wife. I said, come quick and see this. Come quick and see this. She may know who she talking to on the phone, she never see it. When I heard her, they would say, Ganapati Girijaya Brishabhacham. He got that from me. And he made, I said, that's it. I call him after. I said, why didn't go for the whole thing? He said, boy, you see my age? And he made a request. He said, Pandit, if you did the Ganesh Gita, would you give me a copy? I said, Harry, let me tell you something. That goes without saying. Yes. Whenever you want it, it's there. I put your name on the cover too. Use it as you see fit. You cannot die and leave. Carry this with you when you're dead. If you believe you're going to carry this when you're dead, sorry for you. Better you leave it behind and let somebody else use it. Bolo Shri Ganesh and Bhagavan ki jai. All will stand as we join together with the group in singing the arti. Om Jai Ganapati Deva. Om Jaya Ganapati Deva. Prabhu Jai Ganapati Deva. Begana Vinashan Swami. Begana Vinashan Swami. Sukha Sampati Deva. Om Jai
Ganapati Deva.
Parvati Putra Kahavo. Shankar Sutta Swami. Prabhu Shankar Sutta Swami. Gajananda Gananayak. Gajananda Gananayak. Bhatanayanugami. Om Jai
Ganapati Deva.
Vedi Sedi Ke Malik Moshakaya Savari. Prabhu Moshakaya Savari. Kar jore vinati kare. Kar jore vinati kare. Ananda Yusabari. Om Jai Ganapati Deva. Redi Sedi Ke Malik Moshakaya Savari. Prabhu Moshakaya Savari. Kar jore vinati kare. Kar jore vinati kare. Ananda Yusabari. Om Jai
Ganapati Deva.
Sunda Sundala Dunda Dundala Mastaka Parachanda. Prabhu Mastaka Parachanda. Karaj Siddhi Karavo. Karaj Siddhi Karavo. Kato Sab Panda. Om Jai
Ganapati Deva.
गणपति जी की आरती जो कोई नर गावे. प्रभु जो कोई नर गावे. दादू का कह भावती. दादू का कह भावती. निश दिन सुख पावे. ओम जय
Ganapati Deva.
जय गणपति देवा. प्रभु जय गणपति देवा. बेगान विनाशन स्वामी. बेगान विनाशन स्वामी. सुख संपत्ति देवा. ओम जय गणपति देवा. ओम जय गणपति देवा.
Om Jai Ganapati Deva.
ओम त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव. त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देवा ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम। बोलो श्री गणेश नंद भगवान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय। सियापति रामचंद्र की जय। जगत जननी श्री दुर्गा माता की जय। बोलो सनातन धर्म की जय। Devotees, you may kindly take your seats.